Ms. Transformers 96 here with another video, and we talk about a newly shown Hot Toys item, and this time it is the Spider-Man Advanced Suit from Hot Toys from the new video game that's being released. So this is an interesting item, because obviously Hot Toys doesn't really... I think this is their first ever Marvel game item, because of course they do some DC ones from the Arkham games, and now they're doing the Spider-Man from the Marvel game, which is exciting. So overall, I don't plan to purchase the game, just so you know where I'm coming from about the game. I've seen some of the trailers for the game, I've seen a lot of the hype for the game, there was one Sinister Six video I watched from the game that actually looked really cool. But the main villain of the game, Mr. Negative, I've never been a big fan of. But I know that this game is getting a lot of hype in general, so it is nice to see Hot Toys participating by offering a product from it. It's nice to see this new Spider-Man suit. Overall, the suit itself, I'm not a huge fan of. It's a nice... It's good for the fact that it's very clearly Spider-Man. It's on the brink of being like a regular, like very classic comic-like Spider-Man, but with a twist to it, essentially. It has more blue lining, and it has white decals instead of black ones for the most part, which I think is cool. So I like the concept of the suit. Just personally, I'm just not a big fan of the actual how it's constructed all together. It looks a little... It looks game-like, you know, which works for this and everything, but just personally, just as far as comparing all the Spider-Man suits together, this is not one of my favorites. I do like the more aggressive-styled spider symbol, though. It's like almost like a cross between Spider-Man and Venom, which, you know, doesn't really work for this character or anything, but I still like the design of it. The bottom of his shoes, they look weird. They just look very sneaker-like, which is odd. It almost looks like a cosplay. But in general, I think that the figure does look pretty nice as a representation of the game version, and I do think that you do get some decent stuff with it. As you can see, you get multiple eye sculpts. I do like the fact that you have this, which gives him a very elongated eye. That's something that's very unique that the movie Spider-Man figures don't really come with. So I like that. Some of his accessories are quite neat. You do have a lot of these little gadgets and gizmos, which I'm sure you're going to be able to use in the game, of course. One of my favorite things, though, is this little like spider sense piece of like clear plastic that you can put around his head. I think that's super cool. It's very cheap. It's very easy for them to do, but I just like it. It adds something to him, and that really gives him a game feel, because obviously you couldn't give that to a movie figure. It'd look really out of place. But with the game, it looks really good, and I like it quite a bit. It really fits in nicely, and it's a really kind of innovative idea to do for the game. And then you have like that stuffed animal of Spider-Man. I think looks really nice. We have seen a pop of Mary Jane Watson holding that stuffed animal. So I think that looks very cool. I like that little accessory. And then he does come with like a little spider webbing, you know, similar to the Spider Sense, where it's just like a clear piece of plastic that has a spider web on top of it, or painted on it, essentially, printed actually more likely. But I think that's nice. You can kind of have him on top of that. There are these accessories would not go well with the movie, you know, figure, but with a game figure, it really works nicely, and it's a great way to differentiate the figure. You know, like this totally looks like a game figure with this stuff, and not a movie one. So I definitely like that quite a bit. And then it comes with the standard spider web shooting webs themselves, and hand-wise, basically your basic Spider-Man stuff, other than that peace sign hand. That's something that's not typical with the Spider-Man figure, but it's neat to see that it comes with it. And then it comes with your standard base, but with a backdrop of a New York landscape, which I think looks really nice. So as a whole, I think this looks like a nice figure. You don't get an unmasked head, but I don't think it's super necessary. This is a great representation of the game if you're a big fan of the game. If you're not a huge fan of the game, I certainly wouldn't recommend it, though. There's definitely better Spider-Man figures that will, you know, suit your something. If you're more into the movie, I think that you definitely enjoy a movie one more than this. But I think that if you are a big fan of this particular game, this is going to be a great figure for you. And I think that they really enhance the figure with the accessories he comes with. Without those accessories, he looks a little plain, but with the accessories, it really knocks the figure out of the park. So I definitely like this one quite a bit. So at the moment, this hasn't gone on pre-order at the moment of filming this, so I can't talk about the price, but I would hope that this is not over $340. Sorry, yeah, definitely shouldn't be over $340. It shouldn't be over $240. I think that a more appropriate price for this would be in the $220 to $230 range, and $240 would be max, in my opinion. But there you go. That's my thoughts on the Spider-Man Advanced Suit version coming from the newest game. Let me know what you guys think of the figure, and thanks so much for watching.